How's it going, everyone? It's Young Big Mac here from Young Big Mac, the channel that brings you everything Pokemon. And today we have another deck profile. As you see, we have Houndoom, so we're back with the single strike. But this week we have Gengar V-Max. I was gonna upload this last week, but I got a little bit sick. You know, allegedly it was COVID, allegedly it was not, who knows. But I'm excited to show you guys this. I feel like this is a really good list. So we are gonna get into it right away. So starting off, the first Pokemon we are gonna start off with is Houndoom. We play for, again, it searches out our single strike energy. Our Gengar attacks for single strike energy. So it works out. I don't think we'd ever want to play less than 4. I think if you play 3, you're kind of weird, in my opinion. You definitely need these as soon as possible, and Gengar's not a consistent list, so we need those. Next up, we have a Houndour, 4 of them. Basically, we want to see this turn 1 as soon as possible, so we can evolve next turn into our Houndooms and start accelerating energy. So we're playing 4, very important. Might be more important than Houndoom, because you can't evolve into Houndoom without the Houndour. Next, we have Gengar V-Max, single strike. We are playing 3 of them. The card reads, Fear and Panic for 2 dark, 60 damage. This attack does 60 more damage for each of your opponent's V and GX in play. Since we can power it up with Houndoom, you rarely need to attach per turn, but we do have an energy that we like to attach from our hand to Gengar, which we'll see later on in the video. Then we have G-Max Swallow Up. 250 during your next turn, this Pokemon can attack. Not really the worst effect on the card, since we can just retreat into another Gengar as long as we set up properly. Then of course we have to play Gengar V. We usually don't attack with this, but it is a pretty solid attacker. We have Pain Explosion for 190, put 3 damage counters on this Pokemon. Usually it will do a bit more than 190 due to it having single strike energies on attached to it. So we are playing 4 copies of this, as we do want to maximize seeing this turn 1. Next we have I would say it's a new addition. We have Stonejourner. I was originally playing single strike Urshifu, but this thing does the exact same thing single strike Urshifu V does, but better. We have Giga Hammer for 2 fighting and a colorless. It does 120. This, during your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Giga Hammer, but if you have 2 or 3 single strikes attached to it, you do one-shot Arceus V or an opposing Gengar V-Max. And Land Pulse also does a reasonable amount of damage as well. If there's a stadium in play, this attack does 30 more, so that brings it up to 60, because it has a base 30 damage, so that's 60. Then if you have 2, usually you'd have 2 single strike, that is 100. That does knock out a lot of one prize Pokemon in the format. And we also have, what is it? You need a stadium, and we do play 4 stadiums, so we'll always have it. And we have Choice Belt. I have one-shot a few Vs with Land Pulse before. So for Stonejourner, we do play 2 copies. I do like the 2 copies, as it allows us to go completely single prize focused, since we can attack with these 2 and then 4 Houndooms, making up 6 total. So I'll add the 2 there, and we'll get on to the next Pokemon. So next up we have Crobat V. Is basically just a supporting Pokemon, and we do play 2 copies for consistency. I don't want to play it any more, and I wouldn't play it any less. I feel like 2 is the perfect number. Lastly, for the Pokemon section, we are playing 1 copy of Lumineon V. When you put this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you get to search your deck for a supporter card. It definitely helps when you're in a pickle and you do play enough ball search to find this consistently. Just remember, You can't use this under Path of the Peak. So if you're struggling, if you're dead drawing, never play Path of the Peak, because in case you're able to get that Lumineon V out, you won't be able to bench it because it will have no effect due to Path of the Peak. Next up, we're going to move on to trainers, and we're going to start off with our stadiums. We are playing Path of the Peak. The effect reads, basically, no Pokemon with rule box have any abilities. So Pokemon V, VMAX, V-Star, V-Unions won't have any abilities. We are playing a full 4 copies. It is the only stadium we chose to play. I'm playing this mainly for the Arceus Duraludon matchup, since we have no way to attack them unless we have a Path of the Peak in play to negate their ability. Next up, we have supporters. Play a basic supporter count, no fancy one-of techs. We have Professor's Research. We're playing 4, discard your hand, draw 7 cards. A great card when you need to draw cards. So playing the 4. I've seen some people play less than 4, but I believe in this list, in this archetype in general, you need the 4. There's no better draw supporter other than Professor's Research in the format at the moment. Next up, we have Marnie, another basic supporter that everyone plays. We are playing 4 as well because it is the second best draw supporter in the format, in my opinion, and we need to draw cards with this list. Drawing cards means you win in the Pokemon TCG in general. So a good 4 copies is what we play. And lastly, for supporters, like I said, nothing special. We are playing Boss's Orders. We don't play the Umbreon, so we do need a Gust, but since we just one-shot everything in front of us, gusting isn't always necessary or important, but when it is, we do play 3 copies. I don't think I would go up to 4, and I don't think I would go down to 2 because that would only bring 1 spot in the list, and I don't think there's anything I would add to the list that's just a one-of. So we're going to stay with the 3 Boss's Orders, as it's, in my opinion, what I've found the most consistent. Next up, we have items. So we're going to start off with Ultra Ball. Discard 2 cards from your hand and search for any Pokemon. Since we do have lots of Pokemon that we want in play, we are playing a full 4 copies. I don't think I would go down to 3. If I could play more, I think I would. I really like Ultra Ball as a card. I think it brings so much consistency to the format. And since we like to discard our hand with something like Professor's Research, we can always just discard stuff and then play the research as long as it's the last card in our hand, so we can draw the cards. Then we play Quick Ball. Discard a card from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a basic Pokemon, put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Basically, Ultra Ball's little brother. Pretty standard card. Again, playing 4 since you want to see it in your opening hand and you need your basics as soon as possible. Again, if I could play more Quick Ball, I probably would, but 4 is the max that you are allowed to play. So we will play the full 4-4 Quick Ball, Ultra Ball split. I really like that split. It's very consistent. I don't think I'll change it anytime soon. Next up, we have Urn of Vitality. If you've seen the last deck profile, you'll know what this does, but it does shuffle up to 2 single strike cards from your discard pile into your deck. We are playing 4. Again, lots of our counts are going to be 4-ofs. Basically, we get to recycle our energy, and with how power hungry our attack costs are, we do need to reuse our energy or else we won't be able to attack. So the full 4, again, I don't think I would play any less than 4 copies of Urn of Vitality. Next up, we have Air Balloon. The retreat cost of the Pokemon this card is attached to is 2 less. We do play 3. You could switch this card out for a switch, and I don't think it would be that big of a deal, but I do like that this stays on the board as it is a Pokemon tool. I like to attach these to the Houndooms, so we could just use that as a pivot Pokemon but as you'll see with the energies, we do have another switch card effect. Lastly, for the items and trainers in general, we have Choice Belt. The attacks this card is attached to do 30 more damage to your opponent's active V. That includes VMAX, V-Star, and V-Union. Basically, if we attach this to a Gengar V-Max and we have 4 single strike energies attached with a Path of the Peak in play, I know it's a big combo and hard to ask for in an inconsistent list or inconsistent deck like Gengar V-Max, but we do one-shot a Duraludon V-Max with a big charm attached. We're only playing 2 as we don't always need it since we're one-shotting a lot, but when we do need that extra little damage, we have it in Choice Belt. That has it for the items. Let me know what you would add, what you would switch. Would you play Switch over Air Balloon, or do you think Air Balloon is the way to go? Now for energy, we only do play 2 types of energy. The first one is Hiding Dark Energy. As long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides a dark energy. The dark Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat cost. So we can attach, what I like to do is attach 2 single strike energies, one of these hiding energies to a Gengar V-Max. That way we can G-Max Swallow Up, and then next turn we can just switch out into another Gengar V-Max with the free retreat that this provides. And we play 4 copies as well. Really like this card. We can also attach it to a Crobat for free retreat or a Houndoom for free retreat as well. So that's why I'm not too worried playing Air Balloon over Switch, since this is basically another Switch effect. Basically another 4 Air Balloon. So we play the full 4 copies. And then the last energy we play is obviously Single Strike Energy, a 4 of. This card can only be attached to a single strike Pokemon. It provides a fighting and dark, but only provides 1 at a time, so you have to pick 1. And your attacks do 20 more damage. Really great card in the list. It basically makes and breaks the list. It's one of the most important cards in the list, in my opinion. So we will play the full 4. I don't see why you would play any less. And that would be our energy section. Thank you for watching the video. Let me know what you thought about the Gengar V-Max deck profile. Is it a yay, nay? Do you like the deck? Do you hate the deck? What is your opinion? Leave a comment which deck I should do next, and I'll see you in the next video.